my authority as chairman, I want to make sure that everyone understands the following guidelines for citizen comments. To ensure that everyone has an opportunity to appropriately share their thoughts with the board. Based on the number of people wanting to address the board, citizens will be limited to 1 3-minute presentation. Commentators must provide their name and address for the record before making their comments. Commenters are asked to refrain from using vulgar or profane language. They're also asked to avoid attacks, threats, comments directed at any individuals, either the county supervisors or somebody in the audience. They're also advised that under the open meeting law, according to the Corporation Council, the board itself cannot respond directly to any comments made or asked not to request that we do so. Failure to follow these guidelines or engaging in behavior which is disorderly, abusive, or disruptive may result in being asked to leave the premises so you can continue with the orderly meeting. If there are any citizens wishing to speak, anyone wishing to speak, give your name and address for the record.
Danielle. Is Daniela here? Or Pamela? Pamela, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, County Board, and guests. I want to thank the county supervisors for allowing us time to share our concerns and grievances, and I hope that we can learn from these. By the way, I'm sorry. My name is Pamela Lumley, 7327 Uptown, Kenosha. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity to share. Tonight we're going to hear from many passionate people, and it is my hope that we're going to get informed of the evening. To my brothers and sisters in activism, we're expressing sorrow with words of wisdom and not hate. With words that are ready to be repeated, and that profanity will not make excuses. But we limit our comments. It is my hope that people will have done their homework and not demand the county board do things that are not in their purview, such as fire elected officials that can only be recalled by the elector, or discipline officers that are the responsibility of the city of Kenosha. It is further my hope that we will work with the process to change in a controlled and orderly fashion. And lastly, it is my hope that all get to speak, including the county supervisors who have questions about county business, and that there shall not be delays until all county business is finished. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My catch off guard tonight, but this is important to me.
What's your name and address, please?
Billy Violet. I live on Ready Avenue on the south side. I never get on my full address. I'd like to pause for a minute and take full responsibility for my actions at last meeting and the meetings prior. It has been brought to my attention that I have a powerful presence. And while I cannot undo the words that I said or the actions that I've done, I can learn from them. Tonight I would like to make a commitment to both the citizens of Kenosha and the county board supervisors and my legislators elsewhere and our policing force that moving forward, I'm going to try to do better. I want to talk a little bit about Jim Cruiser's presentation. And I'm hoping that at some point we can have a budget to go over. While there are several shortcomings in the budget for next year, like what do we do about food deserts before 2022? That's a really long time away. That's a long winter away. 2 winters, really. What do we do in the short term? And while there are loopholes like that, for the first time tonight, listening to him speak on the budget, I felt kind of heard. I felt like all of the energy that I had exhausted in the prior meetings here that it wasn't in vain. That some of you heard. So I hope that you won't disappoint as you move forward, and you refine and make amendments, and you make suggestions to your cohorts, because it's important. Because at the end of the day, every single person in this room, regardless of their beliefs, are relying on each of you to make our community better. Thank you.
Good evening, I don't know what kind of day this is. My name is Simon Caldwell. I live in the Jumpkins district, right on 22nd Avenue. It's a great district, and that's why I don't come to you with any problems. Everybody's looking at what you want to do. I just don't have any issues in our district. I really don't. And you're a man of your word, and so we don't have much to talk about. There will be a time, and we'll talk about it if it ever happens, I promise. I wasn't going to speak tonight, but I remember an article that came out after the last county board meeting, and I think there was a misunderstanding of something that I said, and I feel like in order to move forward, it's really important that I clear that up. Supervisor Connell had a great quote in the Kenosha News article. It was a wonderful quote, but at the end of it, she mentioned that silence during these meetings is not silence of the issues that we're speaking on. So I just want to clarify to Supervisor Connell and anyone else who has belief that we think that your silence right now is the silence that we have a problem with. The silence that we're talking about is the silence that comes from you guys when the supervisors are very out of line, making terrible comments about specific demographics. The silence we're talking about is when the room is lined with sheriffs and that people are coming in without masks and they're sitting less than 6 feet away from each other. That is the silence that we're talking about. The silence was something that shouldn't be happening happens, and you don't say or do anything about it. That is the silence, not the silence right now, because believe it or not, we know how meetings work. We know you're not allowed to talk back to us right now. And most of us respect that, at least I respect it. So when I talk about silence, I mean your actions and how you deal with things that are blatantly wrong as leaders in our community. Thank you.
Speech. My name is Emily Fair. I live in the Uptown district. A lot of what he proposed seemed very foundational. There was rebuilding, there was roads, there was all of that, and there was moving social programs closer to the inner city, but there was nothing new coming, right, from what I gathered. So that needs to happen. There has to be actual social changes and new programs for people who have had to fall out from the racist Kenosha system growing up here. Being non-white, those people should be addressed and addressed instantly, right? That is how you address systemic racism, is you not only look to the future, but you think to the past and what you can do to rectify that, right? So there needs to be more social programs for that. Before we build a 4-lane road going where there's already roads going, we really need to work on the roots of Kenosha and what was really wrong with Kenosha. The systemic racism in Kenosha, not the roads right now. And when we fix Uptown, yes, fix Uptown. Don't gentrify Uptown. Don't then raise the prices in Uptown and push the people living there out of Uptown so that other people can move in. So yes, fix Uptown. Don't gentrify Uptown. When you think about budget proposals, which I hope you're going to be proposing different things, Think about mental health. How much of a percentage of the budget goes to mental health? How much goes to regular health? How much goes to unemployment, which is needed right now, right? We're in a pandemic, unemployment is high. How much goes to schools? How much goes to schools like Washington and Lincoln? Small businesses are hurting right now. Families are hurting right now with Ever's new 25%, which I appreciate that. That's gonna help our numbers, which are climbing and our hospitals are filling. So that will help us, but it's gonna also hurt some other people, some bartenders, some restaurant owners. So we have to take care of them also. It's up to the government, not the people, to help little businesses, right? So people should be able to, curbside some food, but the restaurant workers shouldn't have to rely on the community to keep them going. We need to rely on the government, right? That should make sense. So focus on those things before you worry about roads, right? Focus on what really, really matters. Thank you.
Go ahead.
The name and address for the record.
Hi, my name is Kalana Hutchinson. I am in Pine News District. It seems that there's some confusion as to what is actually in the mask mandate that the government put up. Somebody clarified it for some of you. In the actual mask mandate, there are questions and answers, and one of the questions is, I have a medical condition that prevents me from wearing a mask face covering. Do I need documentation to prove that I don't need to wear a mask face covering in public? The answer, according to Dr. Evers, is no. You are not required to carry documentation to prove that you do not need to wear a face covering in public. On page 4, the question is, what do I do if I see someone not wearing a face covering, even though they should be? The answer is nothing. Some people have conditions or circumstances that would make wearing a face mask covering difficult or dangerous. Just wear your face covering and stay 6 feet away. The next question, what do I do if someone is harassing me for wearing a face covering? No one should have to endure harassment. For any reason, contact your local law enforcement. And the same holds true for not wearing a face mask. That is harassment. And I think there's been some question about that amongst people in here. I think people need to actually read the mandate instead of relying on a sign in a grocery store. Thank you.
Well, they better sanitize that mic.
Joe Clark, 4862 105th Place, Pleasant Prairie. You'll notice I did give my name and address as you requested. And I think we should maintain that practice going forward. I've been watching county government, or certain county government, for the last 25 years. I was never so disgusted by watching the meeting last week. We had a supervisor who may have been listening, but had her back turned to the county, to the citizens of Kenosha County. I sat there through some very contentious meetings. I've had them chanting outside the building where it was time for me to go, but I always sat there and I always listened respectfully. If you cannot respect the public, you shouldn't be in office. Relative to reform of the county board, I've watched people at this podium chastise you for cutting them off for trying to get information. We as citizens, we need to come here and speak, but we also need to come here in respect of the quorum of this chamber. And I saw some nonsense here in the back tonight, which just kind of made me sick, and it wasn't from the county board. Relative to the county board chairman and the quorum of this body, when a supervisor is told they're out of order and they continue to speak over and not acknowledge the chair, this county board should not allow that activity, and they should censor that individual. If that sort of action continues, you need to get control. You guys have a job to do relative to what your role is. You guys are policymakers. You guys have the number one policy before you, budget. There are a lot of things in that budget, and while we're looking to invest into the Uptown area, we're bringing more government. We need to bring more jobs to the Uptown area. And as you look at Kenosha County and you look at the diversity of Kenosha County, you need to make sure those jobs are there for people of diversity. I just want to say that, you know, there was an action where certain supervisors, 8 of them, signed on to a letter that went to the president and whoever else requesting help for the riots. The same supervisor who circulated that, when they wanted to bring attention to an individual who denied access to the county board, sent out an email to every single county board supervisor. It was very simple then to send an email out to every single supervisor and ask them if they wanted to sign on, to tell them that that document was there for them to sign on. You got to have enough of this showmanship, and you got to start working together. When I was on the county board, we had many difficult issues. I'll finish. We had many difficult issues. When we got done, we walked on the other side of the chamber and we went for a drink. We were battled on this side, but we respected each other on the other side. This county board needs to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other citizens' comments? Any other citizens' comments? This time, citizens' comments are closed.
I have 2 email citizen comments. First is from Lloyd Aston. When I live with my family in Kenosha County, I need to publicly address the disturbing incidents that I experienced in mulching and Kenosha elected officials. On September 24th, I sent a message to the Common Council via the send comments to all the persons button on the Kenosha.org website, expressing concerns about a protest that was going to take place that day from 3:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. Because Jesse Jackson was speaking at this protest, it was also publicized in the Milwaukee Journal and News Station website. Let me preface by saying that the American citizen has the right to peacefully protest. However, after over $50 million in damage to our city from protests that turned to violent rioting, I had understandable concerns that I wanted to express. At 10:42 a.m. on September 24th, I wrote the following message to the Common Council. Subject, protest today, heads up. Message, are you all aware of the Facebook flyer going around of the protest from 3:30 to 6:30? We don't have the resources to deal with the big crowd. I'm praying that the right decision is made to have the proper resources here, as they do not remain peaceful. We don't have the resources to deal with the big violent crowd again. Please defend our city. At 9:02 p.m. that evening, I received the following email from a personal account of a person named Ginsburg. Subject, protest. Message, I saw your email to the city this morning. You should send this also. Anyone who supports a 17-year-old to go to another state and shoot and kill people needs to have their mental health checked. Mr. Berg included 2 screenshots from a Facebook group called Angry Viking, which he was referring to in his message. I was very unnerved by this email, as I did not know who this person was. At 9:53 p.m., I sent the following message back to the Common Council via the send comments to all the persons button on the Kenosha.org website. Subject, unwelcome email. Message, hello. This morning, I sent an email to all of you regarding the protest today. At 9:02 p.m., I received an unwelcome email from a person named Andy Berg. The subject was protest, just like I sent to all of you. The following is what this person said to me. Quote, I saw your email to the city this morning. You should send this also. Anyone who supports a 17-year-old to go to another state and shoot and kill people need to have their mental health checked. End quote. I double-checked and Andy Berg is not on the council. How did he see my email? It was very unnerving to receive this unwelcome email from this person. If you don't know, please refer me to who I need to contact. Following the communication with the Common Council, I sent 3 separate messages back to Berg at 6:00 p.m. Who are you? At 7 p.m., I will be following up with the city tomorrow with an email I received from you. You are not a council member. Kind regards. At 10:57 p.m., don't ever contact me again. The following day, 3 other persons responded and identified that the person was supervisor for District 10. I was in utter disbelief that a county supervisor would send such an intimidating email to me. I expressed legitimate concerns about a protest not only for the safety of my community, but my elderly parents, family, friends that live in the city. An older person decided to forward my message to Supervisor Berg. For unknown reasons, Supervisor Berg chose to send me an intimidating message from his personal email account. This email referred to a Kyle Rittenhouse shooting and questioned my mental health, which had nothing to do with the message I wrote to the older person. Not only was this a message to me, but it is a message to any individual. Any individual who might struggle with mental health issues. In summary, first, after professional follow-up inquiry to identify which only person forwarded my message to Alderman Supervisor Berg and why. And second, I request that the county board of Supervisor Berg and Council for his unprofessional and state behavior. It's not acceptable for an elected official, must be addressed when that happens again. If deemed necessary, I will share this email thread. Thank you for your time. This one is from Diane. I'm a long-term resident of Kenosha, specifically supervisor in District 11. Hello, County Board of Supervisors. Tonight is the Kenosha County Budget meeting, and on my mind is the possibility of prioritizing adding funds toward ending homelessness in our county. The Kenosha Human Services Department states that they, quote, develop, coordinate, and administer a comprehensive network of services to children, youth, families, elderly individuals, and those striving to cope with development of disabilities, mental illness, high-risk situations, and I would consider our neighbors without homes and high-risk situations. I believe that Kenosha County should include an homelessness initiative in our county budget. Thank you. And announcements of the chair.
I'd like to take my 3 minutes. I'd like to use my 3 minutes right now. To make a statement that I put together here. I will speak to the board and citizens of Kenosha County. I've been on this board since 1996. It's a great deal. One of the hallmarks of public service is respect. Respect for others, supervisors, and respect for the public. Recently, we have found ourselves in unprecedented times which cause passions and emotions to run high as we saw in other meetings, which I'm glad to see there tonight. As a result, we have found it more challenging than ever to demonstrate standards of respect to manage each other. The surrounding people without any concern, any phone, vulgarity, and lack of basic courtesy. Over last year, we were subjected to multiple examples of each other. We had harsh language, cursing, and other things. We had personal attacks, general lack of respect for some parties, including talking over others, and failing to show proper respect to people who are speaking. This does not reflect well on anybody. One thing in particular about taking offense during the meeting calls for action. First of all, we need to be aware by law we cannot respond during citizens' comments. Our job during that portion of the meeting is to just listen. I believe that listening respectfully requires looking at the person speaking. I believe that most of the board agrees with me. Please do not take our silence and sense that meeting and the lack of caring about it is only disrespectful, any disrespectful behavior. There have been some who have been asking us to consider censure or some other type of discipline. Ultimately, the members of the board are accountable to their constituents, not their fellow supervisors. They get voted in, they get voted out. So I urge everyone and citizens alike, along with the supervisors, what the trend we're seeing throughout the society demonstrates civility, courtesy, and respect for each other. We need to find ways to communicate with their positions and feelings in ways to recognize the things which we have in common must always be stronger than those which divide us.